Hey, who remembers Hamtaro? You know, the little hamsters with the big adventures, also known as the best anime ever made according to people who are correct and smart and have amazing tits. A show about a fat hamster escaping from his cage every day to meet with a bunch of other hamsters and have amazing adventures like putting on a play, reuniting a pair of estranged siblings, reenacting a samurai movie that your human watched the night before. Yes, that was a real episode. But they didn't just have a cartoon, they also decided to create some of the best games on the Game Boy. Pokemon? Zelda? Oracle of Ages? Man, fuck that. This fucking Ham Hams Unite, motherfucker! Ham Hams Unite is an adventure game where you use a new kind of slang to gather all your friends. Along the way, you can commit assault, murder, public urination, and be a general menace to society. So join me on one hamster's adventure to make everyone's day just a little bit worse. The game starts with Boss telling us that he has a surprise for everyone, but nobody's at the clubhouse. Oh no! Well, we could just wait an hour, but we're hamsters. We're gonna die in 3 years, and we're all owned by children, so it's more like 2. More like 1. So naturally, Hamtaro has been tasked with busting his tasty gams all over the neighborhood looking for all the stray hamsters to tell them to come back and see what Boss's big surprise is. But oh no, we don't know Ham Chat, the new slang everyone's using. Damn it, Hamtaro, you won't be cool if you don't know Ham Chat. Everyone will know you're a square. Don't worry, Boss will teach us, because if there's anyone who knows anything about slang, it's an old man who lives in a hole. He gives us a notebook to record the ham chat words with and teaches us how to say hello. Then he teaches us how to commit physical assault against another person. I will get a lot of mileage out of this. Then he teaches us how to sniff things, something I will definitely only use in appropriate ways. With this instruction, I'm sent off to the Acorn Shrine to look for the ham hams. Upon arriving, a self-described good Hameritan reminds me that I can find acorns here. Thank God you were here, sir. I never would have guessed that acorns could be found at the Acorn Shrine. And I just remembered, Boss added some other ham chat words to my dictionary. Among the 4 ham chat words we learned in the tutorial, there are several others for the sake of utility, like Scoochie, which lets us climb things, and Scritty, which scratches with our tiny little claws, Paka Paka, which bites things with our big-ass hamster teeth, Yes and No for saying yes and no, Looky for examining things, and... Wait, no. No, there's no way. Oh my god, I can pee on things! This game has a dedicated pee on things button! Okay, new list of objectives. Primary objective, find all the ham hams and learn as many ham chat words as possible. Secondary objective, pee on everything and everyone. So with my definitely rational goals established, I found Hamtaro's bestest friend Bijou, who blushed and demanded I chase her. You know, I think she might have a thing for Hamtaro. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the next game will clear that up. Moving on, I find this lady who is daydreaming, and when I wake her up by greeting her hello, she tells me she's daydreaming about being romantic with a really fat hamster and teaches me the word for big, and then tells me where Bijou went. Thanks, lady. Good luck with your imaginary teddy bear hamster. Bijou's playing a game of keep away with me, so I tackled the tree. This shook out some spiders and scared her. She's upset and says that I'm mean and then laments that she dropped her shiny rock. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might be over there. And you know what? It was. I get her shiny rock from the hole and give it back to her, and she agrees to actually come back to the clubhouse. Bijou acquired! In Bijou's room, you can use a lot of the ham chat words with her. More than any other ham in fact. If you tell her Mega Q, for instance, she thinks you're calling her fat. If you say sparkly, she says she'll be even more sparkly when everyone's here, proving my theory that Bijou is sapping the life force from everyone around her. If you say ham solo, she'll insist you'll have to visit more. This is flirting. Like, this is just flirting. Returning to the Acorn Shrine, I assaulted the chubby chaser, who said that it would be nice to be tackled by a big teddy bear hamster. So I immediately went up and tackled the big hamster too, who agreed it would be a great idea to tackle the girl he likes. All according to plan. But then he says he's going to tackle her with a love letter. Oh, come on, I want to see someone get crushed. Then he asked me to deliver the love note. Lazy bastard. I gave it to her and she said she needed time to read it and think about it, so I moved on in search of new people to sniff. This sleeping hamster was in the way, so I used Teeny. This did nothing, but then it got really bright and he rolled over and was unresponsive when I tried to interact with him. Did I kill him? How? How did I do that? I need to know so I can do it again! As I walked over this patch of light, I noticed a shadow in the sky, so naturally I said, hello! They said hi back, and then Maxwell came crashing down and started crying for being a total failure. Don't worry, I cheered him up by face-planting into the dirt, and he said I was a weirdo for it. Well, let's see if I ever cheer you up again. You know, just for that, I'm gonna pee on you. Maxwell acquired! Back in Maxwell's room, I asked him if he was lonely, and he said he wasn't because he always had the other ham hams. Aww. And then I, go pee! My vengeance will come sooner than I expected! So I peed on him and he got really angry with me. Consider this a fucking warning. So I went to Sunflower Park. There I found some ham hams hiding under a sandcastle and insisting I don't tell them where they are.
Oh, they fucking.
I found Oxnard and he's lost his sunflower seed. Again. Dude's always losing his sunflower seed. You know, he's probably sitting on it. Actually, wait, Oxnard, sunflower seeds are fucking everywhere. I have 50 on me right now. If you get your ass up and come to the clubhouse, you can have One of them. Whatever, dude just won't listen to me. But just to the south, I dug up a hamster who taught me the word for give up. Man, this would be perfect to use on Oxnard. Come on, Oxnard, give up the addiction of sunflower seeds. You can do this. There are people who love you and want you to succeed in life and have a personality beyond sunflower seeds. Maybe this is a sign that... And he's having a tantrum. Turns out he was sitting on the sunflower seed the entire time. Now that he's regained the object of his addictions, he's actually willing to come with me. Oxnard acquired! Back at the Sunflower Park, I found a jungle gym, and at the top I found Pashmina, but her scarf blew away. Aw, crap, I have to do everything. While trying to find a way up to the bird who had it in its maw, I ended up next to a sleeping hamster who rudely refused to respond to me. Okay, fine, have it your way.
Dead!
Did you cause that tremor? Are you blasty at me? Yes, sir. Yes, I am. Give me the fucking ham chat word. With the word to describe my every waking moment in the bag, I made it up to the bird and made a silly face to make him drop the scarf. Then he asked me my name, but the only thing I could do was pee. So I peed. Right off the jungle gym and onto a hamster's head. He decided, apropos of nothing, that this was the word for friend and now calls me his special go-pee. I'm making a reputation for myself today. I bring the scarf back to Pashmina, who is delighted to get it back and agrees to come back to the clubhouse. Pashmina acquired! Getting back, she asks if I found Penelope yet. Not yet, Pashmina, but I promise I will. I will find that hamster, and I will pee on her. Arriving in the ruins, I find an old man who gets angry when I wave hello and demands I face the person I'm talking to. So I do that, and he proceeds to bitch about me using ham chat. There is no pleasing this man. It wouldn't even be worth it to pee on you. But just south, I find Cappy, who has lost Penelope. Cappy, boss gave you one job. I'm gonna take a finger for this insolence. We decide to split up and look for Penelope, but first I take out my frustrations on this TV. And it turns out I knocked a bowl onto the head of the cranky old man. Yeah, ham ha, bitch, don't sass me ever again. At the clock, I meet this ballet dancer, and I shook my ass in her face, and she thought that was cute. That's right, I know what the ladies like. They like a fat hamster shaking his butt. Tell me I'm wrong. Speaking of fat hamsters, at the top of the clock, I find one underneath a car burying something in the dirt. So I did the friendly and courteous thing and immediately physically assaulted him. He teaches me a word and tells me there's nothing buried there, and I totally believe him. Then I no-clip out of bounds and find 3 rocks, and this hamster can't believe what he just witnessed. I completely broke the laws of physics right before his fucking eyes. Anyway, up the ladder, I found Penelope bouncing on a frog in a bathtub. So I pulled the plug and ruined their day. I'm gonna be a great mother one of these days. The frog is glad that I've come to get her because Penelope was absolutely driving him crazy. I mean, no shit, she was bouncing on your head, so he lets Penelope come home with me. Penelope oh god, is that allowed? Returning to the ruins and taking the elevator up to a high place, I found a hamster cowering next to a pole high above the ground. However, he was extremely unresponsive to my attempts to make small talk. I even tried jabbing him in the eye and nothing. So I decided to kill him. No, that's it. I just killed a hamster, and I don't feel bad about it. Anyway, after taking a swan dive myself, I found Cappy inside a gotcha game, absolutely spellbound by a wig. Penelope's fine, by the way, Cappy. Not that you care. Anyway, let's get going. Cappy, oh, come on! Cappy, you have a problem and you need an intervention. Come to the clubhouse or I'm going to pee on you. There we go. Cappy, Okay, this fucking guy. Fine, I guess I have to win him the wig. First try, by the way. Anyway, here's your wig. Now come back to the clubhouse or I'm going to pee on it and then glue it to your head. Cappy acquired! Before heading off to Sunflower Elementary, I went back to the ruins and found that ambulance again, where I proceeded to dig up the fat hamster's poetry. Joined hearts together, open the stage curtains wide. To be continued. And then I did this 3 more times. The winged music floats across the stage to my ears and starts my heart thundering for you. And finally you are there, glowing like a goddess, brighter than the sunlight shining on you. Dance for me, my darling. But then I was caught and the hamster assaulted me. That was just uncalled for. Lily, you've done nothing but assault people the entire game. No, see, that's different because... So I arrived at Sunflower Elementary and kept beating this dog in the face until his friend popped up and taught me a new word. Another debate won. Inside the school, the path to Jingle was blocked by another fat hamster who's just lying there on the floor. And I gotta say, it was really tempting to pee on him, but I had places to be. In another room, I actually found Panda just hammering away at a board. You're gonna need a nail or something there, Panda. He agrees to come back with very little ceremony, which is actually quite refreshing after the nightmare that was Cappy. Panda acquired! I head back to Sunflower Elementary and picked up a bottle from the ham swap. That fat hamster mentioned something about needing a flower, so I assume it's going to be tea. But the ham swap wants 50 sunflower seeds for a single bottle.
I want the manager of the airport here!
After my insufferable tantrum, the ham swap guy agrees to a 50% discount, which is far more reasonable than any store owner would ever do, and I should definitely take that generous offer.
I want the manager of the airport here!
Got him down to 5 sunflower seeds. Man, those Karens are onto something. This totally works. Taking a brief detour to the biology lab, I tried to— oh fuck, that skeleton's alive! Kill it! Oh wait, it's just a hamster. You son of a bitch! Up top, I asked the guy making tea to give me some tea, so I gave him the bottle and— it has a hole in it! That fucking ham swap guy, no wonder he let the price down so low. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Panda, can you fix it? He totally could. Thanks, Panda! So with the bottle fixed, I went back to get some more tea. I'm gonna need a cup of tea after this, and I brought it back to the sick hamster. Wakey, wakey, I'm gonna dump scalding liquid all over your facey!
Can you come back later?
Bitch, move! She eventually rolled over and I was able to climb out the window to find Jingle playing music for an entire group of animals, and the frogs are just being negative Nellies about it. After navigating the fragile ego of a starving artist, I managed to convince him to come back to the clubhouse and sit in a tiny room where he belongs. Jingle acquired! Now that I'm through with school for the second time in my life, it's time to go to the Sky Garden to find Stan and Sandy. I know they're gonna come in a pair because those two are inseparable. Trying to climb the tree to the Sky Garden, I found a hamster trying to get chestnuts from it and wouldn't let me pass, telling me to take the drainage pipe instead. Well, you're fucking rude. Just for that, I'm peeing on your tree. In the entry pipe to the Sky Garden, a monkey was blocking the way, but luckily I picked up some bananas at the school and gave them to him and he ran off. But there was something else blocking the pipe, so I headed back to the tree to find the hamster crying. Evidently, the monkey got done with the bananas and ate every nut in the tree. Ha! Serves you right. Now I can climb the tree to find Stan walking laps around the garden and a current preventing me from crossing the river. So after getting a clue from another hamster, I went to the bar to order a drink.
Oh, by the way, please don't pull the plug out from behind the counter.
You can count on me, sir. Once he was gone, I pulled the plug because I was lying. This stopped the current so I could make it across to Sandy. Fun Hamtaro fact. In the show, Sandy has a big crush on Maxwell because— actually, why did you like Maxwell, Sandy?
I feel so happy when I'm around Maxwell. He reminds me of my older brother.
Well, okay then. Sandy's irritated because Stan is off flirting with Ham-Hams. Oh, good fucking lord. So we team up to corner him and force him back to the clubhouse. I chase after Stan while Sandy stays right there. Good team, Sandy. Once we corner him, Sandy is chewing him out for his antics. Stan seems exasperated by this, and, I totally get it. This must be exhausting for you. Let's get you back to the clubhouse where you can at least lock the door. Stan and Sandy acquired. Once we're back at the clubhouse, Sandy demands he leave the other girls in the clubhouse alone, and then Stan tellingly denies being nervous. Stan, do I need to call someone? Blink twice if you're here under duress. Oh wait, no, I'm the reason you're here under duress. Don't blink. Getting away from that psychological nightmare, I head to the supermarket where the first thing I find is a fat hamster stuck somewhere. The only constants of reality, the universe, human stupidity, and fat hamsters wedged in places. So naturally, I did everything but help him. I jabbed his ass with a stick, pushed him in further, and then yanked his face right into the floor. He is having the worst day, mostly at my hands. Then I immediately find Howdy and Dexter fighting over Pashmina as usual, and a reporter thinks this is new. No, ma'am, it's not a scoop. This is normal for them. While looking for where Howdy and Dexter ran off to, I found a hamster stuck behind a panel of glass who mimicked everything I did, so I peed on the glass. And he was horrified. Like, what the fuck, dude? Right there? In public? Right in front of me? What's wrong with you? Well, sir, it all started when I was 14. Anyway, I'm clearly not the first person to do this, so I don't know why you're surprised. Anyway, I went back to the freezer and found Dexter scratching away at a block of ice, making a carving for Pashmina. And I said, "Come on, Dexter, Howdy's your friend." To which Dexter said, "Fuck you, I'll kill that man." Well, I tried using the power of friendship. Time to go slam Howdy's face in a drawer. Howdy thinks I'm spying on him and won't talk to me. Well, I tried. Gonna have to tell boss that we're out 2 ham-hams. But then the reporter excitedly tells me that Dexter is dying. Ma'am, I think you have a problem. So I head back to find that Dexter is frozen solid. Well, he's dead. Time to go tell Howdy that his competition's gone. But Howdy is immediately alarmed. He wants to go save Dexter. So we come up with the idea to use a heat patch to melt this hamsicle. Unfortunately, the ham swap guy is selling them for 9,999 sunflower seeds. Well, that's just highway robbery. Luckily, I happened to find the reporter's bag, which had very compromising photos of the ham swap guy, so we use it to blackmail him into lowering his prices. I always use blackmail to get what I want. I learned it from my sister! With Dexter defrosted, he and Howdy agree to come back to the clubhouse. Howdy and Dexter acquired! With every ham collected, boss shows me what he was working on. It's called a spotlight. For a dance hall to have a dance party. So I was running all over the place getting my cardio in, and my reward is to do more cardio. I'm gonna pee on every last one of you. And that's Ham Hams Unite. Bye!